This week, we're going to be sailing on a small cruise ship and comparing what it's like to the bigger cruise ships. And trust me, some of the differences are huge. And one big thing that you might not have taken into consideration that might ruin your cruise. We're going to be trying all of the food, plus visiting some amazing ports in Australia. So, come join us. Quick heads up, this video is brought to you by Squarespace.
So ahoy there cruisers, first up, let's eat. We ordered breakfast this morning because we have a very early start and it's going to be a really fun day. So Ben ordered some room service breakfast. We got some delicious waffles, some nice pastries like a pastry basket and some fruit, but the all important coffee, because that is going to wake us up today for what's going to be an amazing day. And it's always very exciting for us when it's a brand new port. So yay! Let's do this.
Oh yeah, this looks very good. But yeah, like David said, it is so early. It's like 6:30 in the morning. We're up so early because we're going to do a Patreon video chat with everybody because it's actually Monday morning here, but Sunday afternoon in the rest of the world, which is very strange indeed. But yeah, not only are we going to be showing you all of the differences between these big ships and small ships, we're going to be taking you off in the brand new port of Adelaide here in Australia because we're currently on a 50-night cruise from Sydney to Bali, and we can't wait for you to join us. It's going to be awesome. We've got some big revelations with cruising on a small ship compared to cruising on a big ship. But first of all, I've got my waffles. Now, this isn't the first time we've had room service. The room service is all included here on Azamara Cruises, here on the Azamara Pursuit cruise ship. She only holds 750 people, which is absolutely crazy compared to some of those gigantic cruise ships. Now, every time we've had the room service, it has been so hot. Throw me in a pan with some oil and call me baked. That is delicious. The strawberry waffles are really soft and gorgeous. Hot. It's like the first room service I think I've ever had that's been hot. The pastries are good. The coffees, it's fine. But yeah, looking forward to getting off. At least it's going to wake me up. But yeah, good morning everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Some other options for breakfast include the main dining room where we've ate most of the cruise and we found the food to be very good in here. We get to eat in the Aqualina restaurant because we're in a suite and it is very, very lovely. But the menu's basically the same in the other main dining room for everybody else. There's also the buffet, but as you know from last week's episode, we're not the biggest fan of the buffet here on Azamara Cruises, so it's basically a miss for us. We haven't ate here once. We'd much prefer to get room service or head to the main dining room. Anyway, time for the tour.
So we've done our Patreon crew call from the ship's Wi-Fi, which was really fun. It was great and the Wi-Fi worked brilliantly. In fact, we were actually talking to a few patrons who were on other cruise ships all around the world. How crazy is that? It was a lot of fun. And if you want to join us for that crew call, you can check out more by clicking the link in the description section below to join our Patreon crew. As well as that crew call, you also get extra behind the scenes content like weekly extra video. We also put all of our videos up there advert free and early access. Now we're going to get off the ship, head for our wine tour, which I'm very excited for. Going to get me some wine on. Woo! Going to get this as my wine dance. Woo! And the benefit is, because this ship is quite small and there's not that many passengers, it's going to be easy to get off. So doing independent tours, I feel a lot more comfortable with starting the tours earlier than if it was a huge ship. Like for example, some of the Royal Caribbean ships, I'd be giving myself like an hour and a half to get off them ships because they're massive. But this one is lovely and small. So let's get off.
Well, hello and welcome to South Australia, a new territory for us. We're here in Adelaide. That was so simple. Like David said, these small cruise ships, it just makes getting on and getting off the ship so simple. Absolutely no lines. You are through and out in a matter of seconds. It's so lovely. There's no pushing, no shoving, no lots of people trying to get places. It's just really relaxing, guys. It's lovely. And what a beautiful day we've got here in Adelaide. It's our first time here. We're just waiting for our tour operator to pick us up. We're in the right spot. We booked this through Viator. We're not sponsored, but we do have a link in the description section below if you want to book one too, and we get a little bit of cutback from that. We've got ages here. We've got overnights. We've got the entire day and tomorrow to explore, so there's no worries about having to get back on the ship on time, which is so fabulous. And again, one of the benefits about a small cruise line, not many of the big cruise lines like Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Princess do overnights that often. This one we've got 3, which is blooming awesome. So it's one of the great benefits of cruising with a little tiny baby cruise line And our ship looks lovely in the sun, doesn't she? Right, let's see where our drivers are. I'm very excited for today. Very excited indeed. I love going to new places. It's always very fun. It's a great thing about cruising. We get to go to all of these different places in the world, figure out where we like so that we can come back for a longer time next time.
So before we start our wine tour, we've done a quick coffee and pastry stop in a cute little rural town called Tanunda. It's in the middle of the Barossa Valley, which is the wine region that we're going to be exploring today. So we've came to a coffee shop called Beans and Cream. They do good coffee apparently, and they also bake muffins in-house. So they bake fresh muffins every morning. So of course, we're having breakfast number 2. But we are having wine, so I think the more breakfast we have, the better. This is just a cute little rural town in this agricultural area.
This is lovely. It's like a real relaxed country little town. So Tanunda was about a 40-minute drive from our cruise terminal. Now our tour, talking about small ships. It only has 8 people on board, and 6 of those are from our cruise ship. So other people on our cruise ship booked it as well, which is fabulous. Now this is one of the reasons we love doing shore excursions on our own, like we explained in a video a few weeks ago. Anyway, we're going to start off with a salted caramel banana muffin because, oh my gosh, this looks amazing. Look at all of the caramel on there. Let's go. Well, shake some salt on me and call me a combine harvester because that is delicious. It's salty, sweet, it's warm. They've warmed it up as well. Oh my gosh, that is salty deliciousness. We've got our coffee. We went for flat whites. Obviously, guys, we're in Australia. If you didn't know, Australia has some of the best coffee in the world, in the internet's opinion, and ours too, because we've had some fabulous coffee. Let's try this one. Oh, shake me like your maracas and call me Gloria Estefan in Miami on a Saturday night, because that is delicious. It's got me going. That is delicious. Flat whites are so, so good. I don't know why the coffee is so good in Australia, but can we have this at home, please, and other places in the world? Because it is absolutely fabulous. Delicious, guys. $18, which is about £9 or about $13 US for everything that we've got as well. So not too expensive, not the cheapest either, but cheers. I'm excited for this tour. Need to get some more food in my stomach before we start tasting all that wine, eh? The things we do for the channel. Such hard work. So when we arrived at the beautiful Yaldara, it was absolutely gorgeous. We were given a big glass of wine and told to take ourselves on a self-tour of the premises. It was an area with 250,000 expired bottles of wine. That is a lot of wasted wine, and it made us cry a little bit inside. But it was super, super interesting to see all of the different bottles throughout the years and the different flavours and the barrels. It was just an awesome experience. Then we went back and tasted some more wines.
Well, good morning. It's 10:30. We've already started on the wine tasting. This is a heavy pour of wine as well. So our first stop is the Chateau Yaldara, and I've got myself a nice glass of rosé to kickstart the day with. Very refreshing and just what you need first thing in the morning. But let's have an explore. The place is absolutely gorgeous on the outside. It feels like I'm in Italy. Definitely feels more Mediterranean than Australian. And I think because we have that dry weather today, and it's very warm as well, that's why it feels like we're in Italy or somewhere like that. The building is absolutely beautiful as well. And we're going to explore at our own pace.
What an absolutely magical place this is, guys. It's wonderful. It's just beautiful. I had the Riesling wine. It was very nice, very dry. Next up, we've got the Tawny, which is a little bit like a port wine, so it's a fortified wine. She's got legs. She smells delicious. It almost smells like chocolate. Let's have a little try, shall we? Oh, slap me with a grape and harvest to me, because that is delicious, guys. It's very sweet and well balanced. It's not too tangy, it's not too dry, it's not overly sweet. Again, it almost tastes like chocolate. Beautiful indeed. Absolutely delicious. Cheers, guys. Welcome to Adelaide. It's going to be a good day. I can tell we've got another 4 wine tastings to go, so it's going to be a good day and a delicious meal included. Just wait until we tell you how much this cost compared to the ship as well. You're going to be shooketh. You're going to be shocked. But yeah, it's very good.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace. We've been using Squarespace for a long time now. When we started making cruise videos, we just needed a simple place to send people. One website with no drama, and Squarespace made it stupidly easy. We really love the design side of things. We're not web developers, we're usually editing on a ship somewhere, but with Squarespace's templates and Blueprint AI, you can get a fully custom website in just a few easy steps. You answer a few questions, and and it builds something that actually fits your brand. The other huge thing for us is SEO. People Google cruise advice all the time, and Squarespace handles the behind the scenes stuff, things like sitemaps and meta descriptions, without us having to think about it. And everything lives in one place: website, blog posts, members only content. If you've been sitting on an idea, a travel blog, a side hustle, a passion project, genuinely just start. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Ben and David to save 10% off your first website or domain. So stop number 2, we visited the Jumeirah estate, and this was one of our favourite stops, not only because we got to try 7 different wines, but because it's a James Halliday 5-star winery, and apparently in some circles that means a lot. It also included some of the oldest vineyards in the world with no phylloxera. Now basically this is a horrible little bug which gets into the wines and can ruin them. We can't walk through any of the vineyards in Australia because of it, so it's not like Italy and other parts of the world, but it was really fantastic here. We really thought the wines were very elegant and very tasty, and it was so interesting listening to all of the stories. So next up we came to Keys Family Vinery. And guys, it's beautiful here. We've got some actual vines. Now we can't really walk amongst them anywhere just because of the bacteria that's been infecting wineries all around the world. So they're very careful about where you can go and where you can't go. But this is beautiful. We can see the grapes up close and all of the rolling hills. It is beautiful. They've had lots of really hot weather here lately as well, and a bit of a drought during the winter. They usually have a lot more rain, so they've been struggling this season. All of the grapes are ready to pick in the next few weeks as well, which is absolutely nuts. So they're proper chunky grapes. Now it looks a little bit grey because they've had some sort of clay sprayed on them as a sun protectant to protect them from all of the really harsh UV rays, but this is gorgeous. I've got to admit guys, I'm feeling a little bit tiddly as well, a little bit not drunk but nice and happy after all of those 7 or 8 wines we've just tasted, then the place before as well. But this is just stunning. It really feels like the Mediterranean. It does have a Mediterranean type climate as well, but it is a little bit more deserty here in South Australia. But it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's so beautiful, and yeah, we've looked out with the weather again. It's a gorgeous day. Next up, it was time to have lunch in the Keys Family Winery. I had the most delicious pie. It was a lamb pie with some chunky chips. No skinny French fries here, and it was absolutely delicious. David had the spinach and phyllo feta pie, which also was delicious. Very good. Now they make 16 different wines on site here, and a massive 85% of the wine in the Barossa Valley is Shiraz, just because of the growing conditions here. Apparently Shiraz does like to grow here, which is fabulous. We've stopped at another little shop for a little break for some gelato. It's like a chocolate shop right here in the hills and the valleys of Barossa. Delicious. Guys, I went for the fairy bread gelato. I feel like Moira Rose from Schitt's Creek when she's doing the wine ad.
Hi, I'm Moira Rose.
In the lee of an unpretentious ridge lies a little winery. Sounds Scottish. One that pampers its fruit like little babies. Hi, I'm Ben from Ben and David. If you love fruit wine as much as I do, then you'll appreciate the craftsmanship and quality of Heikel, Zyker, Burger, Binglebop, Bazinga, Burglebum.
A drunk Ben trying to do a drunk Moira Rose.
Yeah, a drunk Ben trying to do a drunk Moira Rose. Right, let's go get on the bus, David. We need to go. Also, can I just say, I absolutely adore Catherine O'Hara. So we're going to dedicate this video to her because she's an amazing actress, an amazing woman, and I just loved her growing up. She's the most amazing actress ever. So rest in peace, Catherine.
So next up, we've come to a famous celebrity chef's kitchen, guys. This is Maggie Beer's kitchen. Now, if beer...
Maggie Beer, David.
Maggie Beer?
Like the drink?
Yeah, like the drink, Maggie Beer. Yeah, this is her kitchen.
She's basically Martha Stewart without the criminal record.
Yeah, she's the Australian version of Martha Stewart, like Ben said, without the criminal record, or maybe Mary Berry as well, for us Brits. I mean, Mary Berry might have a criminal record. She does look like a cheeky little minx, who knows? But this was the actual kitchen that they used to film her TV programme. How cool is that? She even has a little stepping stool behind as well.
Well, she's small, bless her.
Must have been.
Who is she small? She's still alive. She's 81, isn't she?
But this is awesome, guys. Like, how cool is this? It's an actual working kitchen as well. Just check out, come on, check out the oven space. Now, I've got to that age in my life where I really appreciate pots and pans and appliances. And we actually have a group of friends where that's all we talk about. So, lovely oven. This would be
Mealy,
great.
very posh.
I know, mealy. Very, very posh indeed. This is fabulous if you're doing a Sunday dinner and you've got one meat in one in the other, and your Yorkshire's down below as well. Very nice.
So leaving Maggie Beers, and we do recognise her actually because we used to watch the Australian version of MasterChef and I remember her being a guest judge on there. Anyway, it was time to go to our final stop. Let's head there. Stop number 6, guys. 6 stops on this tour, which has been absolutely fabulous. We're at the Umbertus winery now. So this was set up by a couple of brothers from Taiwan who had no experience at all in making wine. They actually came from an agricultural background in Taiwan, growing rice and things like that. Went to university, studied their masters and everything in winery, and bought a winery here in 2013, and since then they've been growing and making wine. So this used to be an old winery, but they revitalized it, built loads more, put in some more plants, and they do it all themselves. It's a team of 3, the 2 brothers and one person who was just doing the tour there with us, and one of the guys cultivates the entire land by himself, which is crazy. And we've had the chance to taste a few of the glasses of wine. Now, I'm getting more and more drunk as we go along, guys, because I'm not used to drinking this much. I think I've had at least 18 little glasses of wine, which is pretty crazy, and a few full ones as well. But this is the one which is grown with zero irrigation, so there's no water. The roots are so deep that it sort of has its own water flow below the surface, which is pretty cool. So it's definitely got legs. It smells delicious. It smells like cherries and oak, and this is the life, guys. Seriously, that is delicious. And just being out here in this beautiful scenery, gorgeous weather, makes you really appreciate what we do. It really does. We're having the best time on this tour. It is fabulous, and it's a gorgeous place, and it's great to see somewhere that's completely different to all of the other places that we've seen today. This is such a contrast. It's so modern. Are so cool. They've got different ways of cultivating and making the wine as well, which is pretty damn cool as well. So, and it's great to see a success basically from nothing. They took skills that they had from a completely different life and put it into a brand new bit of life. And yeah, they've got an amazing vineyard here in Barossa Valley, which is just awesome. But yeah, what an amazing tour. Our guide Amanda was fabulous. We'll send a link to the tour as well in our description section below, but it's been so fantastic. Guess how much it cost us? 130 British pounds. So that's about 160 US dollars for both of us. That is crazy. All of these tastings, which we've had so many, amazing lunch, all of the transportation being picked up from the port. On board the ship, this was around $300 to $400 per person. The tours on Azamara are very, very expensive indeed. It's something we mentioned in last week's video. This is a fraction of the price. Only 8 of us as well. It has been absolutely wonderful. We've had such an amazing day here in Adelaide, and I desperately want to come back again. It's such a beautiful place and so different to all of the other territories that we visited in Australia before. Wonderful day. It's been fabulous. So after our final vineyard and a lot of wine, I think we counted almost 20 tastings, which was absolutely crazy. It was time to head back to the ship. A little worse for wear. Well, hello everybody and welcome back. Now we're back on a sea day here on the Azamara Pursuit. Last time we saw you, we were in the beautiful Adelaide. We had a wonderful day there. We actually had 2 days there. Our second day we filmed for our Patreon channel, so check that out, because like we said earlier on, we make videos once a week exclusively just for our patrons that nobody else gets to see. But we've had a wonderful morning so far. We've had some breakfast, we played some games in the lounge up front, so we did a bit of Scrabble and a few other games with a few of the friends we've made on board, and then we headed back to the watercolor class. We've been doing that every single sea day, and it's something that we've been really enjoying it. And the great thing about these small ships and luxury cruise ships is that that's all included in the price, so there's no extra charges for that, which is absolutely wonderful. But boy, let me tell you, these last 2 sea days have been very, very tough for one main reason, because it is a small cruise ship, and we'll tell you why a little bit later on. But I think we're going to go get some lunch now, because
because we're a little bit hungry here on a sea day. Then we'll fill you in all of the differences about cruising on a bigger cruise ship compared to a small cruise ship like this, and you're probably going to be surprised. But yeah, we're still having a wonderful time here on the Azamara Pursuit. It's very much surprised us, and if you didn't watch last week's episode, make sure you go back and watch, because that's more of a holistic review. I nearly fell over.
There's some motion in the ocean just there. I wonder what happened there. Yeah, time for some lunch, and I'll always look forward to the food, as Whitney said. And I will always look forward to the food. We're
going to put on so much weight on this cruise.
Going to put on. I've already put on weight. This top now is so horrendously tight. It's not even funny. That's why I'm layering up, guys. Layering to hide the rolls.
Right, talking about rolls, let's go. Now, one of the best things about being on a small cruise ship is that everywhere is so easy to get to in just a matter of moments. Nowhere's too far to walk. And to be fair, you don't really get lost, especially on this ship, because all of the food is at the very back of the ship, regardless of what deck it's on. And there's only one main deck in the middle, deck 6, so it's very, very easy to navigate. Which is very good and very much appreciated. So we always know exactly where we're going, and it takes no more than just a few minutes to get there. So let's head down to the Discovery main dining room. This is the main dining room for everybody, located on deck 5 at the back of the ship. Let's go.
So, we've came down to lunch, and we've came down to the main dining room, and we have grabbed ourselves another fantastic spot. We have an amazing view of the outside right next to the windows, which is lovely, but it's very, very quiet today, and I suspect why. Anyway, I've put my orders in. I've actually gone slightly off menu today, because I noticed on the menu every single dish had meat on it, and I don't eat too much meat, but also the only meat I do really eat is chicken, and nothing was chicken. So I've kind of gone off menu, and they've said yeah, they can do it, so let's see what happens.
So for my starter, I went for the spicy chicken salad. Now, the menu changes every day, which is great, but yeah, it was surprising not to see any vegetarian options on there, but they were really flexible with what they could do. So if there's something that you don't like on a dish, obviously they can take it off or just ask for something different altogether. So it's all good. But yeah, spicy chicken salad. Looks very nice. Lots of cabbage in there. It smells very good. Let's have a little try, shall we? That is wonderful, guys. That is totally banging. Very spicy as well, but the sauce on top of there, the beautiful tender chicken, and all of the crunchy vegetables underneath. Wonderful. What a great starter. Oh, just loving all the food. I can't stop. I can't stop putting things towards my mouth. It's terrible, guys.
I can't actually remember what mine was called, but basically it was a bean soup, and it looks more like a broth texture, and it has a slight curry smell to it as well. Let's try it. It's actually extremely mild in flavour, almost flavourless. Actually, the smell is a lot more intense than the actual flavour, but it's a nice little soup to start.
So for lunch, I've went for something a little bit different, guys. I've went for the twice baked potato, and it comes with scrambled eggs and bacon, so it's a bit of a brunch affair. Just because I didn't want anything so huge to eat for lunch, because I'm still a little bit full from breakfast. Let's have a try. It's pretty good. It's exactly what you should imagine. It's nothing to write home about. Nice and hot. Needs a bit of salt for the eggs, but that's pretty much usual. Bacon's good. Yeah, not bad.
I went for the opposite effect to Ben. I went for something massive. Look at this. I got the Beyond Burger. So it wasn't on the menu, but I know they do serve it upstairs. So I said, is there any chance I could have a Beyond Burger instead? And he said, of course you can. Had to wait a little bit longer though. Absolutely perfectly fine though. Let's give it a try. So it's a Beyond Cowboy Burger. Yeehaw. Really delicious. Boiling hot. Tastes fresh. The bun is absolutely lovely as well. It's like a proper brioche burger bun. Just really fancied a burger, guys, and that has really hit the spot for me.
So that was a lovely lunch. Finished off with a lemon meringue and a bread and butter chocolate pudding with rum and raisin ice cream, which was very good indeed, guys. Feeling absolutely stuffed now. Obviously, with the smaller ship, you're not going to have as much choice as you do on some of the bigger ships, which come with multiple specialty restaurants. There are 2 specialty restaurants on this ship. Aquilina, the Italian, Prime Sea, the steakhouse, only open for dinner, apart from breakfast and Aquilina for those and sweets. But yeah, you've got the buffet and things as well, but not quite as much choice. But the food, generally, in the main dining room has been fabulous, that you don't need to go anywhere else, and they change their menu every single day, which is great.
The biggest difference or even issue with smaller cruise ships versus the bigger cruise ships is the motion in the ocean. And by that, I literally mean the ocean and nothing else, because smaller ships are more susceptible to motion than the bigger ships. And the past 2 days on this cruise, we've been cruising the southern Australian Ocean, and we've been hitting some very, very bad weather. And boy, do you feel it on this ship. Now, I do suffer from seasickness. I have been taking pills, seasickness pills, but still, I get very bad headaches and motion sickness. So basically for the last 2 days, I've been getting up, eating, and then coming back to bed and laying back down, because that's where I feel best.
Now, we do a lot of cruises on big ships and small ships, and you definitely feel more movement if there's any type of seas going on outside. You really do, because it's a smaller ship, so it intensifies the smaller you go down. So the smaller the vessel, the more you're going to feel it. So if you do suffer from seasickness and you are doing a cruise that has some little stretches of water and things like that, a smaller ship probably isn't that great. Now, the seas outside are about 5 or 6 meters, which is quite moderate, but it's not bad. On a bigger ship like one of Royal Caribbean's mega ships, or Princess or Norwegian, you would still feel it, but it would be much less. It would be kind of a little sway. On this, it's a full-on, like, you need to hold on to things when the ship turns and sways, and we're kind of rocking all axes at the moment. So we're rocking on the side axis, and we're rocking on the forward and back axis. So it's quite intense, guys, especially at the extremes of the ship. Our biggest tips, as usual, for seasickness: if you are prone on any vessel, pick a cabin in the middle of the ship as low down as you can, because that's where you're going to get the least amount of movement in the middle, which is the best place to be. If you do suffer from motion sickness, avoid cabins at the very front and the back. Now, when you're picking your cabin online or with a travel agent, you can usually take a look at a ship deck map to have a look at where the cabins are. Definitely pick one towards the middle. Unfortunately, this normally comes at an extra cost. The cabins in the middle are not only easier to navigate about around the ship, but they usually come with a little bit of a premium, maybe a few $100, $100 or so, just for the placement of that cabin. But if you do suffer, it is definitely worth it. Now, the seas, like I said, haven't been the worst we've seen, but the movement feels pretty bad. It really does. That's the thing about sailing on a small cruise ship like this. You do definitely feel the motion of the ocean. So yeah, we're going to go for a little bit of a nap now, just to chill out. For David, it sends him to sleep on a night really easily. For me, I struggle to sleep in the movement for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm just terrified of falling out of bed. And this one, we're kind of like, it feels almost like a roller coaster. It does get your stomach a few times now and again, and you're kind of wobbling around and stuff like that. So yeah, just one of those things that comes with a smaller ship, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know that it's going to be rough when they bring out the sick bags that they place at the corridors on the stairwells on every single deck. So that's when you know it's going to be a little bit rough. Now, on this cruise, the captain's actually been really good. He's been doing a live weather report every day around midday, and there was a weather report on the TV channel as well, which I've never seen before, at the beginning of the storm, where they were showing you the route we're going to take, why we're doing this route, etc. And he's also been trying to make it as comfortable for us as possible. So speeding up at the beginning to get ahead of the storm, then slowing down when we're in the storm to make it a lot more comfortable for everybody. So he's been a really good captain, changing courses and things like that, just so you know, just so you feel, a lot more comfortable on the ship. Because we've been with some cruise lines before, I'm not naming names, but they sound like Smarnival, where they basically just plonked themselves outside of Sydney in bad weather and didn't move. And we were literally like a ball in a storm. We just sat there going around and around. So he's been really good, this captain, about keeping us comfortable.
Now, where do the bad seas usually strike? Well, transatlantics, big bodies of ocean like this in the Southern Ocean. You don't tend to get too bad storms in the Mediterranean in the summer, and the same goes for the Caribbean. You usually get some storms during hurricane season. So from June to October, you can get some stormy weather in the Caribbean. But honestly, guys, it can happen at any point. You've just got to be prepared. Like David said, you can take medication. We personally take a medication called Bonine. There are alternatives in CVS and other places like that. You can't get this medication in the UK and some other places because it isn't registered and authorized. I'm not sure why. We're not recommending you take anything. Check with your doctor and things like that. We're not medical. It's what we take because it avoids drowsiness, because some seasickness and motion sickness medication causes drowsiness. So on top of feeling a little bit rubbish, you're going to feel drowsy as well, which isn't the best thing when you're on vacation. Lying flat on your bed also really helps with a little bit of air so maybe bring a fan with you as well. Some people say the bands work, others say that the green foods work, things like ginger and green apples. So it's just really to check what is good or bad for you, really. It's a case of doing that, just be prepared. The cruise lines usually do have some type of medication as well. Most of the time this is complimentary to pick up from the medical centre, but on some cruise lines, the cheaper ones, they do usually charge for it. So it's good to be prepared because they will sell it on board, the medication, but it'll be 3 or 4 times the price. But yeah, the smaller cruise ships, it definitely is worth considering the movement on board because it is going to be worse if there's movement in the ocean at all. But don't be scared, it wouldn't put us off. It's just all about being prepared, especially with picking the correct cabin. As you know from our last episode, we upgraded our cabin from a regular balcony to this, it's called a continent suite. And by doing that, we didn't have any control over where our cabin would be. And guess where we are, guys? We're the very second from last cabin on the top deck at the back of the ship. So the movement here is quite severe compared to the rest of the ship. So if you do book a guaranteed cabin or upgrade, you're not going to know where you're going to be placed. You'll know exactly what type of cabin you've got, but you'll have no idea where it's going to be. So by booking that cheaper price, you lose control over that. But you know what? Sometimes it's worth it if you're saving a bargain like us. We upgraded for $500 for 15 nights, which is insane. And the benefits definitely outweigh the negatives. Oh, guys, we've spent the entire day in bed, basically. It's not... It got a little bit better, and now it's really bad again. It's even making me feel a bit sick. I've got to admit, I'm a little bit over it now. It's been 2 full days of horrendous bumpiness, and every sea day we've done has basically been the same. Even when the sea isn't that rough, there's a lot of movement in our room, which is crazy. It would definitely make us question taking a small cruise ship in any open water whatsoever, like I said earlier on, so just maybe sticking to the med or places where it doesn't tend to get too rough. But yeah, it's quite relentless, really. It's just not stopping, which is incredibly annoying. And we've got dinner soon as well, so we have to go for dinner. Very excited to get into port tomorrow after 2 long days at sea. Usually I love the sea days, but it's just you can't really do anything when it's not enjoyable. We're all dosed up as well, and it's still not hitting the sides. Hashtag first world problems. But yeah, it's not very pleasant. It really isn't. It's yeah, it's quite punishing. We'll survive though. We'll survive. I think we'll all be good. Well, good morning. It is a different day. We've skipped a few days ahead. We are out of those horrible sea days, guys, with very bumpy weather, and we're in the beautiful Western Australia now. So we're in Western Australia in a brand new port for us. We are in Busselton, which is just south of Perth on the west coast of Australia. And this is one of the benefits about being on a small cruise ship. They can definitely get into ports, even though it's a tender port today, which means we've got to take a small little water ferry. It's actually one of the lifeboats. You can see them behind me. They've been lowered from the side, and we're going to be getting off and being taken to land over there. I can already see the jetty, which is the longest one in the whole of the southern hemisphere, which is nuts. But like I said, the thing about sailing on smaller cruise ships and smaller ships means that you can get into the ports that other bigger ships can't do. They can even sail through different places which the bigger ships can't get to as well. So it's definitely one of the benefits about these smaller ships. Plus, hopefully, because there's much fewer people on board, it's less hectic getting off as well. Because imagine being on a cruise ship with 5,000 people and they all want to take the tiny little boat there to the island or to the land. It can take absolutely ages, but hopefully, because it's a small ship, it's going to be much nicer. Right, let's get off and explore, shall we? We're super excited, and I need me some of that Australian coffee. Morning, David. How did you sleep? Because it was a lot smoother last night, wasn't it?
Not as well. Funnily enough, I sleep better when there's more movement. It kind of rocks me to sleep. So last night I didn't sleep as well, so I definitely need coffee this morning. I'm a little bit groggy or moody, as Ben would attest to. Do you attest to that? Or are you scared to say it?
I am absolutely not scared to say it. David is a terrible morning person. He is the grumpiest person. You wouldn't believe how grumpy he is, and I'm definitely a morning person. I wake up like a spring bunny, springing out of bed, happy, can't wait for the day, and David gets so annoyed by it, guys. It's so funny. He gets so angry at me. But as soon as he's had a coffee and he's woke up a little bit, he's lovely, but you don't want to cross him first thing in the morning, let me tell you that.
You are so brave. putting that in there. If this makes the final video.
It will make the final video, trust me.
Anyway, you asked me to tell you what I take off with you. With me.
With you, to you.
So I have this bag.
From Uniqlo.
But any bag will do. Any bag will do.
But these Uniqlo bags are fabulous, aren't they though?
Well, because they're not expensive, so I don't mind them getting like dirty and things like that. But I like how many pockets they have. And for us, it means we can put our stuff in here and I can access it from the front. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I can be like, oh yeah, here's your this bag, here's that. Like, because we have batteries and cameras and stuff.
It's definitely worth having a good bag with everything in there.
But like a backpack is probably good as well. But then in here, I have a little bag. Like bags for days, me. I'm like a bag lady. And then in here, I put sun lotion, face lotion, wet wipes to wipe your hands when you put your sun lotion on. This is for our sunglasses because I hate my glasses and sunglasses being like all dirty, so that's just a little bit of lotion for that. And a Tide pen. And that's basically what I take off with me.
And that's mainly for me,
Yes.
the Tide pen, because I can't eat without getting dirty.
I do also pack some plasters in here usually as well, but I did use them the other day. So I
Or
need to
Band-Aids.
restock. Yeah, Band-Aids, because for me, because I'm always like breaking something or like cutting my hand or something like that. And then I also obviously have wallet. This is my extra wallet. Love my extra wallet. Sunglasses, of course. Sun hat, and that is pretty much it. We also take off a copy of our passport, so it says you will need a copy of it. You can have that printed or on a piece of paper. And then I also take off
Driver's
our
licenses.
driver's licenses as well, but it does say you do need to have your passport to hand, but you can have it on your phone. We've never been asked for it, but just in case, always handy to have. I think that is everything. And then on the way out, I grab a bottle of water to put in the bag, and we are good to go.
Let's go.
Today is a tender port, so we need to head down to the den to collect a tender ticket to get off the ship.
Hopefully there's not much of a line.
Yeah, fingers crossed, because it is a small ship, but then at the same time, a lot of people tend to get off quite early on these shorter ships, so I'm hoping it's going to be quite quiet, but we do have a long day in port as well, so that may be to our benefit.
Yeah, I've mentioned it before about Azamara, but one of the benefits about sailing with this cruise line is that you get really long in port. Today we have like 8:30 in the morning until 9:30 p.m, so it's a 13-hour day, something you don't often see on cruise ships, so it's great. So yeah, we just went to the den to get a tender ticket, but they're not doing them because it's a small ship, so that's good. So nobody's wanting to get off at the moment, so we're going to go straight down, absolutely no lines at all, and get off. How fabulous is that? This is unusual.
Grabbing the essential water that we need.
Complimentary.
Complimentary, yep. Just have it at the gangway every day, which is lovely.
Well guys, what can I say but welcome to paradise, Western Australia. What the heck, dude? It's beautiful here. We got off on the jetty. We're going to be coming back to that later on, so don't worry, we're going to show you all of that. You might have noticed there was train tracks as well on there. All will be revealed in a bit, but my gosh, the weather, the beach, the water, the sand, it looks spectacular, guys. Holy moly, it's so beautiful. So green as well. I am so excited to spend the day here. I think it's going to be fabulous. What a beautiful place.
Well, this town is a picturesque postcard and a half. How beautiful is it? The beautiful white sands on the beach and the water. And I think it helps as well. We've got a gorgeous sunny day, but it looks just so quaint and beautiful, guys. We've walked into the town. It wasn't far. It was about a 2-minute walk, and there's lots of little coffee shops and places. But today we're trying something different from our usual pastry and a coffee. We're going to have a crepe and a wrap and a coffee this morning. So we've came to a little coffee shop called Mano, and it looks good. Once again, we just do a little look on Google Maps, see what gets good reviews, and then go with our gut with these places. And so far, it hasn't led us down the wrong path.
What a beautiful breakfast there. I had a lovely sweet wrap that was Kinder Bueno with bananas. Oh my gosh, it was bananas and muy bueno. It was delicious, guys. Very good indeed. David had the savory avocado one with sweet potato. It was equally delicious. The coffee as well, guys. I think it's getting better and better as we make our way around Australia. It's been absolutely fabulous. Anyway, we're going to head back towards the dock area now to take a look at that jetty. Let's go.
So we've had a walk through the town, which was really lovely, but we've came back to the famous Busselton Jetty because Train Geek Dave has has arrived again. We're going to take a train, a famous train, an electric train along the jetty. Now, we pre-booked our tickets on Klook, so we already have our tickets. Got a little bit of time to kill before our slot, so we grabbed ourselves a nice cold ice cream because it is a scorcher today. It's absolutely boiling. It's about 32 degrees Celsius. And these ice creams are delicious. I went for the all natural coconut ice cream. Really lovely. It's milky but has big chunks of coconut flakes in there. So we're going to save ourselves a little bit of a walk and take the electric pier train along the jetty. It takes about 15 minutes compared to like 25. Got our tickets and we're in carriage 8. Now we're on board. I'm happy. A little bit of a train geek and it's really cool. It actually just drove itself to the front on rubber tyres and then backed itself onto the rails. So it's like a dual purpose train. I've never seen that before. It's really cool. It's very cute as well. Now it's a little bit of a walk if we did walk. About 25 minutes I think I just said, because this is the longest pier in the southern hemisphere. How crazy is that? It's actually so long it's quite difficult to see the end.
That train ride was absolutely awesome. It went on and on and on. It was so long, guys. It's crazy. I think it's like a mile long or 2 kilometers, which is pretty insane. We really are quite far away from the coastline now, and we've got a lot closer to our cruise ship as well. Our cruise ship can't come any closer because it's quite shallow here at about 8 meters. But next up, we're going to go down into the underwater observatory. That was part of our tour that we booked. It was around, I think, 47 Australian dollars for both of us. Now that included the $5 each to get onto the jetty, return transportation on the train, and the underwater observatory. So that's about 25 British pound or about 35 American dollars for everything for both of us. So it's super cheap and definitely worthwhile because the views out here are spectacular. But let's go down. This is so cool, guys. So next up, we've came down to the natural aquarium. So this is one of 6 in the entire world. So it's kind of completely natural. So we're in a big cylinder, which was floated down here about 20 years ago, 2003. And it's created a natural aquarium with windows at different levels. It is absolutely awesome. So everything we're seeing is completely natural. All of the coral, all of the fish. There's no tanks here. This is the actual sea. You go deeper and deeper into the ocean on each level and see different types of fish and coral, and it's absolutely amazing. It's like an aquarium but real life. It's so awesome. So nothing about this is really fake at all. The actual cylinder itself that we're stood in right now has become part of the coral as well, so it's completely covered. So cool. What an amazing experience. We just had a tour for about 30 minutes and then we've got some free time here as well, so we're gonna check out all of the amazing fish and see what we see, because it constantly changes apparently.
That was really, really awesome. I enjoyed that so much. And I think there was something extra special about it because it's all natural. It's not like a usual aquarium where the fish can't see you and everything. It's all completely natural. And it was really cool to see. I enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I was going to do. I thought I'd just be like, oh, it's just some fish, but nah, I could have spent hours down there. Just sat there watching the fish come and go on the corals. Was amazing. Right,
we're almost at the end of the pier, David. We're almost at the very end. We are so far out.
I know. We could practically swim back to the ship, Ben. Do you fancy it? I think it's a lot further than we thought. But no, this is incredible. Amazing. Loved it so much. It's just really awesome, and the length of this pier is ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it.
That's what she said. But yeah, the ship all the way out there still quite far. Wow, so we took the train back, then we just had a little paddle in the ocean as well. Guys, absolutely falling in love with this place. We were just saying we could move here. Western Australia, what are you doing to us? It's so nice. The lifestyle here is just so lovely. The beaches, the food, the coffee, it is just gorgeous. I'm sad to see it go, but we're going to have to get back on the ship now. We've got a bit of work to do, and then the final dinner before we get off the cruise tomorrow. I'm so sad. What an amazing day. Busselton, you are gorgeous. We are all ready for dinner. It's getting a bit stormy outside, guys. It wasn't forecast, but there's going to be a bit of a storm tonight. We can already see the rain clouds out there. Now, getting back on the ship was a delight. This is the thing about small ship cruising. No lines. We were back on through security in just a matter of moments. On some of those big ships, that can take a considerable amount of time. We came back to our cabin to a lovely little surprise as well, because it is February the 14th today, so it is Valentine's Day, and we got a lovely little bag full of treats, some Australian honey and some Tim Tams, which are very famous Australian biscuits or cookies for you North Americans, and a lovely little card as well. So we're getting all ready and we're going to go ahead to the main dining room for some dinner. We are starved because we've not ate since that crepe at breakfast, so let's go down and see what's on offer, shall we? Are you all ready, David? Are you ready for this evening's festivitations?
I certainly am, but also I've just realised my trousers are getting very, very tight because we've been eating a lot of food this trip. Australia, your pastries are far too good.
And the food on the ship is good as well.
Yeah, it is on the ship as well. It's really good. But just before we go for dinner, I want to pick up on a few things that we've noticed about small ship life. Now, the first thing is that because it is so small and the amount of passengers is smaller, you get to really know your fellow cruisers. That could be a great thing because you get to know friends. It's easier to get to recognize people, and you sort of, you know, when you see people, what did you do today, this, that, the other. But also on a small ship, that could be a bad thing. Like, not for us, we like everybody, but if you didn't like somebody, you're probably going to see them a lot more on a smaller ship, aren't you?
That's so funny. Now, not on this ship at all, it hasn't happened, but some other small ships we've been on, it can get quite gossipy, with people gossiping about other people and complaining about other people, and it can get quite cliquey as well. We have saw cliques form on cruise ships before of this size. This one's been very different. This has been very, very nice indeed. We've said it a few times, but the passengers on board this ship are so lovely. Oh my gosh, everybody's so friendly and chatty, interested in what we're doing. So many of our subscribers are on board as well, which has blown our mind. We were not expecting that at all. Just keep noticing, guys, look at that red mark. Do you remember the train thing earlier on? The lady was like, watch your heads, watch your heads. Who went and bumped their head twice? So I've got like a bump on my head. Anyway, that's one of the funny things about the smaller cruise ships that are very different to the large ones, where you very rarely run into the same people twice because they're so big. But it's quite quirky. I quite like it in a way. Anyway, enough waffling. Let's go get some food in our mouths, shall we?
You say there's no gossip on this ship. Gossip on this ship travels faster than full fibre broadband. I am telling you, people are coming up to us. Oh, I heard you did this today. I heard you did that today. I'm thinking, who are you? How did you hear these things? I've never known a ship have such a deep gossip network.
Oh, okay then, Jennifer Hudson.
I was more thinking, Jennifer Hudson?
Because I'm telling you.
You're gonna love me.
Oh, I was thinking more Mean Girls or XOXO Gossip Girl.
Finally, we've stopped waffling. I couldn't stop watching that storm because it was getting bigger and bigger and crazier. Am I the only one who loves a good storm? I think I might not be the only one, to be honest, because I think a few people like a good storm. Let us know in the comment section below if you are the fan of a big, non-damaging storm. Wow. I'm stuffed. We're back from the main dining room. Now, one thing that's surprising to me, we mentioned it on the last video a few times, is how busy the ship is, guys. The main dining room was rammed. It was completely packed out. I think it was only about 6:30, 6:20 when we went for dinner, so very early, and it was rammed, and we were sat very, very close to other people, so we didn't film us talking because we didn't want to look like we were complete insane idiots or disturb other people as well at the same time. The people we sat next to were lovely. We were having a chat with them, but very close quarters. This is something that isn't usual on a small cruise ship. Usually you do have a little bit more room apart, the tables apart. We were literally this close to the table next to us, and it was so busy and rammed and very hectic in there. Food was good. It was all very good. Few hit and miss dishes, mostly very good. We've been very pleased with the food on Azamara. It's very good indeed. The service was very lovely as well, constantly topping up our drinks and things like that. Just too busy. I've never known anything like that, and we're telling you things about small cruise ships, and that isn't the norm. This is the first time we've encountered this on a smaller cruise ship. Totally busy, so I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, I had a pretty good dinner.
So another downside of these smaller cruise ships is generally you're going to pay more for them. And by that, I mean they tend to be more premium and luxury cruise lines. So things like Azamara, Viking, MSC Explorer Journeys, these are all classed as premium or luxury cruise lines, meaning that you're going to pay a lot more for them compared to the big ones like Royal Caribbean, even Norwegian, Celebrity, and them sort of cruises. So that's another downside to these smaller cruise ships.
Yeah, and obviously you're not going to get as much entertainment or all of the big bells and whistles like crazy slides and all of that jazz. We've mentioned it a few times, but you know what? We really do enjoy sailing on all sizes of cruise ships. We're not a size queen. We're not that bothered about what size cruise ship that we sail on. We love small cruise ships. We love big cruise ships. They all have a purpose. Like David said, the smaller cruise ships do tend to be luxury cruise lines, so you're going to pay a lot more for the reward of having a smaller ship. Cabins are usually a little bit smaller as well. This one's very large indeed, I've got to say that, but we know that the regular cabins on board the ship, they have tiny little bathrooms, and that's quite normal with small balconies, but it's quite regular. we've really enjoyed our time in Azamara. We would genuinely cruise with them again. We've had a lovely time meeting all of the people on board and eating all of the lovely food, and the great fact we can go to loads of ports with long times in ports is a big winner for us. So thank you so much for watching. Now, if you want to see something very similar, check out our video series on Explorer Journeys. We've talked about it a few times. It's a brand new cruise line by MSC, so click on the screen now.